This is by Indira Almonacid. Says, hi Ave, I just finished my portfolio piece for 3D environment artist, and I'm already working on the next one, trying to keep improving my level. I'd like to know if my last portfolio piece alone is enough to get a junior 3D environment artist position, given the current state of the video game industry, or should I wait until I have more projects? Thanks for the feedback. So the first thing I'm going to say, and I haven't even seen the piece, but you don't need to wait, guys. Like, I know a lot of people are like, oh, I should have at least 2 or 3 pieces on my portfolio. Yes, ideally that should be it. But if you're already in a position where you're finished school, and you want to start applying. If you have a piece, if it's really like a really good piece, sometimes that's more than enough. I can tell you, like, this already looks quite nice, to be honest. So yeah, this is great. I love this. This is really good. Now, one of the very important things for environment artists, Indira, is the breakdowns. How you I need to see how you approach such a big structure like this. There we go. This is awesome. This is exactly what we need to see. The kit construction. Nice. There's all your reference. That's the reference concept piece. Okay, so then the next thing that I would probably tell you is we need to do just a bit more set dressing. Okay, so what do I mean by set dressing? You did a great job on this one, and I can tell you, like, you can already start applying to some like jobs with this because it shows the use of modular construction, the use of foliage, the use of like kits. So this is really good. But what I would do if you want to improve or make this piece a little bit better, I know you did this 5 months ago, so you probably don't want to go back, but think about this for your next piece. There's absolutely nothing wrong with using assets that someone else did, so for instance, the ones that we have in Quixel, to just break things up a little bit more. So on the concept piece, you can see that this looks very interesting because there's more trees, there's more stones, there's this like pillars back here, there's like a waterfall. So feel free to do that. Like, if you have more of these trees, try to incorporate them a little bit more on the scene, because right now, and this is a very common issue when doing environments, people tend to organize things like too perfect, right? Like they just look way too perfect. So make sure, like, you just grab one of these bushes and add a couple more right here. Add one more tree just like laying down in the middle of the lake. Like, just play with the storytelling of the assets that you have to make this thing look a little bit more alive and not as organized as what we have here. Because right now, take this into Krita. Like, if we take a look at this here instead of Krita, right now I can see that you organize this in the following way. It's like, okay, here's going to be my main building with its trees. Here's going to be my lake section. Here's going to be my bridge. And here's going to be my other houses. Yeah, that's fine. But again, you're completely fine in just grabbing a couple of this like extra trees right here and adding them over here, right? You can grab one of this stone like guardians and add him over here as well. Gonna look brighter. There we go. Like, add one other guardian right there. You could grab some of like this very big trees and have them over here falling in the middle of the lake. Like you are free to play around with the elements that you already built to make this thing look a bit more interesting, to break things down a little bit more. Because right now, when we don't do that, we're gonna see a lot of straight lines. And remember, straight lines are things that kill our composition. So for instance, this is straight line right here, this is straight line right here, this is straight line, this is straight line. That just kills the whole composition. So how do we break those straight lines? With things like this. Like, if we add another little like tree right here, that helps me break that element. If I grab some of this like bushes or ivies and I place them up here, that breaks the whole thing. Does that make sense? Or am I speaking crazy stuff? Hopefully it makes sense. It's just using or utilizing what you already have here, Indira, to add more complexity to the scene. Don't overdo it. That's sort of like the tough balancing act that we need to find a good way right there. This one's fine, but again, careful with metals, guys. Metals will reflect the environment that they're in. So if you're using a dark environment, metals will look very dark, and that can be problematic because it's a little bit difficult to see. So when you're working with metals, and you can see here with the mask, I tend to use an environment, for instance, this one right here, this is streets, that give me a little bit more context on what's going on. Because if I go for like this one right here, it's a very like intense one, it becomes more difficult to see the details. It becomes more difficult to see what's going on, especially if I start like decreasing the exposure. I see this like quite frequently. People will push things like way too heavily, and it's very difficult to actually appreciate what's going on.